today's lesson, we're going to work on desensitizing our dog to a harness. A lot of dogs don't like when you put the harness over the top of their head. And so we want them to be okay with it. What I'm going to do first with Rocky, sit. Rocky, actually, when we first got him, didn't like having the harness on. I'm using delicious treats. You can see the delicious treats I'm using. And every time he looks at the harness, yes, good boy, I'm giving him treats. I'm going to spend probably a few days with a dog that really doesn't like the harness, showing him the harness and giving him a treat. If you have like a dog that actually runs away when you pick up a harness, then I would just touch it and then give the dog a treat and let it go. Do that once, maybe twice a day. But once you get to a point where you can bring the harness closer to the dog, you want to make it easy for the dog to accept the harness. So initially he's looking at it and I give him a treat. He looks at it, I give him a treat. When he gets good with that, I'm going to slowly slip it over his head. Now you notice that when I'm putting it over his head, I'm not doing this, I'm not leaning over him, I'm doing it from the side, yes. And I'm giving him a treat as soon as it's over his head, right? So that's how I'm putting it on him, and then I make the adjustments. And then I'm gonna take it off. And initially when I'm first training, I wanna keep these little sessions super short, and just a couple treats, a couple tries, and be done with it, right? So that's the next step. I'm going to take the harness, slip it quickly over his head, and you notice that I have a treat to give to him as soon as it's over his head, right? And then I'm going to take it off, good boy. Put it on, good boy, okay? Then the hard part, a lot of dogs have a really hard time with you clipping it. You could see that he's getting tense as I'm trying to put this clip on him. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure, first of all, that the harness is well fitted. And I'm going to make adjustments, taking it off of him first. That's it. Good boy. Make the adjustment, okay? And then I'm going to do a couple more. Yeah, good boy. All right, just like that, okay? When I first decide I'm going to clip it, like I said, the first couple times, I'm just going to do this very gently. Yes, good boy, okay? So you notice that I didn't even clip it this time. I just really want him comfortable with the harness there. And like I said, he doesn't like me coming underneath him. Yes, good boy. So I'm doing that. I am marking and rewarding it. If you're using a clicker, you can have somebody else off to the side. You can look at them and tell them when to click. Or if you're really coordinated, you can be holding the clicker and clicking underneath there. But I'm telling him how good he is when he lets me put my hand underneath the harness, okay? It's really, really important. Yes, good boy. Right now all he cares about are the treats, okay? Again, I need to make a little bit of an adjustment down. A little bit of an adjustment to the harness. I'm going to do that with it off of him so that I don't have to make him uncomfortable when it is on him. So I'm going to loosen this harness a little bit. Boy. All right, so I want it to be comfortable on him. All right, I'm going to slip it over his head. Rock. Yes, good boy. And you can tell now he put his head right into the harness. He made it much, much easier. He put his head right into the harness. I'm going to do this more in this direction so you can see. Yes, good boy. Okay, and then I'm going to go to try to clip it. Okay, note when I'm holding the clip, I'm not just going to clip it like this. I'm actually putting either my finger, good boy, or my hand underneath the clip this way. What I don't want is I don't want to risk accidentally pinching him right there in his armpit, because that will hurt and that will cause him to really hate the harness even more. So I'm here, he doesn't like this part. I've got my thumb underneath it so I can't clip him. Yes, good boy. As soon as it made that noise, that little clippy noise, I marked it yes, and then I can give him his little treat. Okay, and I'm going to take it off again. Oh, yes, good boy. Again, you notice that he did that. So that little movement is yes, good boy. He does not want me to touch him in the armpit. I suspect at some point one of us must have pinched him, or maybe it happened before we got him. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. So you see, that's what I'm talking about. He does not like it when I touch the harness. So as soon as I touch the harness, yes, good boy. Do you see that this time he looked back and then looked back at me? And now I'm going to, yes, good boy. I'm going to clip it. Yay. Okay, I unclipped it and took it off. Yes, good boy. All right, the good boy is just superlative. It's just stuff that comes out of my mouth. The marker is that word, Y-E-S, that I'm using emphatically. Stand. Stand. A good stand command is also super helpful in teaching a dog to wear a harness. I'm going to wait. So I'm holding it right here. Yes, good boy. Leave it. I'm going to clip it. I have treats in my hand here. Wait. Yes. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to clip it. Good boy. Right. I have my hand underneath it so I don't accidentally pinch him. Yes, good boy. As soon as I clicked, I marked it. Yes, again, if you're using a clicker, that would be the time to click, and then you reward him for letting you put it on. And I'm going to do the same thing to take it off. Yes, good boy. I'm marking and rewarding him for not poking at my hand. Yes, good boy. I unclipped it. As soon as it unclipped, he looked back at me, but he didn't poke at my hand. Yes, that's a good boy. And that's desensitizing the dog to the harness. Now, I did all this in just a couple of minutes. If I was doing it with a dog that was still super uncomfortable with the harness, like I did with him when we first got him, I would only take a couple steps every day and just do it for like, 30 seconds maybe. Put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off over his head, and then work on clip, just once or twice. It usually takes about a week or so to get the dog accustomed to more easily wearing a harness.